predictions, then hope you forget about how wrong they were. But not Mackey and Judd.
Write this down.
This is the big leagues, where we own our terrible predictions.
Write that down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackey and Judd.
That's right. The most revolutionary, innovative segment in sports talking headdom. Write that down. We are the only trio in America that actually keeps track of our predictions, holds each other accountable, and puts our careers on the line. The minute that our bosses discover that we've been doing this every week for 7 years, we are in trouble. We are in trouble.
Hold on a second here.
Huh. That's why my
I
boss
didn't realize
canceled the meeting
this.
last week.
Hey, I can't participate today.
I think you're in the best shape of
Or
all of
maybe
us
I
to
can.
participate.
Or maybe I can, since Larry Brown's never going to go away from coaching. And I already got the point, and people last night were all excited because he took an assistant job at Memphis.
You are as linked to Larry Brown as like his children are. Like now, like it's,
and I
it's
could
literally.
be his, and I could be his kid. That's the best part. I'm 51.
Yeah,
I could be his
that's
son.
true.
Well, and so the Larry Brown prediction lineage on this show and on Write That Down did not end with Judd. There are 2 Larry Brown related predictions that came off the board today, even though Judd is the George Washington of Larry Brown predictors here, but we'll get to those. Write That Down predictions are powered by our friends at PXG, rocking some swag here, PXG Minneapolis. It's a golfer's paradise, just a great spot to check out some of the best golf clubs on the market. The Gen 4 clubs specifically are the best clubs PXG has ever made. And so they've got price clubs at all different price ranges too. So if you just want to kind of stick your toes in the water, try the 0 to 11 golf clubs. Go take a swing, see how they feel. Go put some PXG apparel on so you can look the part out there on the course this summer. Check them out, PXG Minneapolis and Southdale Center. Find out more at pxg.com/Minneapolis. All right, boys.
Write this down.
Here's how it works. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. And listeners, if you want to participate like Brian is about to here in a couple minutes, send us a message through the Score North app. You can go click on the feedback link at the bottom. There's just a button that says feedback. And then your best bet is to select Declan if you want a quick, immediate, organized response. So yeah, check out the new Score North app. It's free to download, Apple and Google Play stores. All right, boys. It's a tight batting average race going into the last few weeks. Judd Zulgad clinging to a lead.
Not by a lot.
But I think there's some interesting things that happened this week. So we'll start with Judd. Judd knocked some dirt off his cleats a few days back and said Eddie Rosario will have a game-winning hit in at least one game against the Twins in 2021. And Judd, that's a home run, my friend. That's a specific prediction.
Yeah.
And so we're going to give you a home run there for that, and we'll see where you're at in the home run standings here in a minute. You did, however, fall victim to a parlay here. You said Kaprizov will win the Calder.
Yeah.
And Capo will finish top 5 in the Calder.
I was trying to go for
15th.
A far more solid hit, and I probably shouldn't have, but that's okay.
I mean, Kaprizov winning the Calder probably would have been just the right path to go.
Yeah,
there,
but that would have been, in my opinion, a bunt single. I got haughty. I got too confident.
This one has not come off the board yet, but it's worth highlighting because of what happened last night between Josh Donaldson and Lucas Giolito. You said the Twins and White Sox will have at least one bench-clearing incident in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that coming off the board sometime here soon?
I can't wait for tonight's game. I absolutely cannot wait. If Donaldson plays and he does not get a pitch up and in and charge the mound, I will drive to Chicago and charge the mound myself for him on his behalf.
I like it.
Weird beef.
I don't know why. Like
me?
This is what
Yeah,
this is what we all were excited for.
No.
Some emotion, some life in that clubhouse.
I want him to charge the mound, partially to help my prediction. No, I just didn't like the circumstance. I just don't like it when you're on a crappy team being trying to be haughty about it. It's embarrassing to me.
I mean, he's the only one showing a pulse on this team right now. I mean, Nelson Cruz shows a pulse every time he swings.
Yeah, but
the
he
bat,
didn't.
so
But he didn't show a pulse because he cares about the team. He showed the pulse because he's on this thing that pitchers are cheating, which he's right about. But then it's just a self-serving move by him.
It's fine. He's a mercenary. Baseball is actually the one sport where you can just be a self-serving mercenary. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Giants almost won a World Series with the most notable self-serving mercenary in baseball history, Barry Bonds. Mm-hmm. Like, nobody liked Barry Bonds. You can be a self-serving mercenary and still help a baseball team.
The game. Win the game. I got no beef with you.
All right. We'll see if that comes off the board tonight. I had a bunch of things come off the board. I told you guys Mitch Garver would not catch after taking that foul tip to the seeds. That he wouldn't catch in a major league game until July or later. So, yeah, June 30th here. And he's been playing catch, but I think he's still walking with a little bit of a gimp, if you know what I mean. I saw a blood stain when he was playing catch
don't
last
say
week.
that. I don't even. You know what? He's been out so long now. I don't want to know. I just don't need more details.
I don't.
Dude, oh, Mitch, do you have 2 Adam's apples? What's going on there?
God.
Oh, Phil. Oh.
I also said the Twins will be swept by Cleveland over the weekend, which they actually took two or three and then it rain out.
Yeah.
Too pessimistic. I said Rob Refsnyder's batting average will dip below 250 by the end of June. He's mostly been hurt since I predicted that. And I said Larry Brown will expire before he coaches again. Well, Larry Brown reportedly going to be an assistant coach for Penny Hardaway's Memphis basketball team, college basketball team. So I guess technically, if 80-year-old Larry Brown does expire before the first game of the season, we can revisit this.
Oh, he's coaching. Nobody's coaching again. I'm sure he's coaching them right now. He's like talking to Penny about strategy.
You're right. I guess the
only thing that expired was Larry's retirement. That expired.
Wow.
Speaking of Larry Brown, our guy Cooper, he said Larry Brown will coach again. And you know what? That's a home run because Larry Brown was very, very much retired. That dude's in his 80s. And so I think it was a long shot for him to come back and coach again in his 80s, even though he is Larry Brown and he loves to coach. We're going to give, unless you guys totally disagree, we're going to give Cooper a home run here.
I think it's fine. I've got no problem with it.
Okay.
Declan?
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Okay.
I'm cool with it. I respect it.
Devlin said Kaprizov will win the NHL Rookie of the Year award. Good, Calder. And we have a few whiffs here by the listeners. Carter said between now and the end of the month, Judd will miss out on one score podcast due to technical difficulties. I feel like
I'm more in studio with technical difficulties than I do at home.
Yeah, our internet in the studio has been a little spotty. I will say here, so first of all, people are wildly short-selling Judd's technological abilities, okay? Judd may not have a wide range of things technologically that he partakes in, but the things that he does partake in, he's pretty good. But Declan has saved the day about 6 different times in June with audio and mic issues behind the scenes that you guys haven't seen. So Declan gets the assist here on Judd not missing a show in the month of June.
The difference between me and Patrick is if Declan assists me, I can often do the right things to make it work. Where if he tries to assist Royce, it's just
no,
basically
I don't want
short.
I can't hear you. Let's do phone.
I'm in the car.
It's basically a short-tempered, is this thing working yet? No, Pat, you've got to go. Where do I go again? Okay, forget about it.
No,
just call us.
Just call me. But your phone sucks. I don't care.
I forgot the headphones. Do I need them?
But Declan does deserve a big assist for my being on.
All right, Bennett had the next one here. And I just, this is a cautionary tale, man. I love when the listeners shoot their shot here, but this is a brutal bad beat here. So he had a 3-item parlay. He said Kirill Kaprizov will win the Calder. The Wild will make the playoffs, and Kaprizov will lead the Wild in assists.
Oh.
Jordan Greenway led the Wild in assists by 2 assists over Kirill Kaprizov.
It should have been goals
or points, right?
Or points. Yeah, he would have gotten it.
And he specifically said assists. And then Declan's brother Liam said Kaprizov will lead all rookies in scoring next season, but will not win the Calder Trophy.
How old was that prediction?
I think at the beginning of the year, his second to last appearance when he came on in January.
Okay.
Now, John, I'm going to highlight this one here. It's not off the board yet because John predicted Kaprizov and Rossi will both be top 10 for Rookie of the Year, and one of them will win it. But he didn't put an end date on this prediction.
Yep, that's fair.
So the Kaprizov part comes off the board.
Yep.
Sure.
And so he's got the one of them will win it part and the top 10 for Kaprizov, obviously. Yep. And we're now waiting for Marco Rossi to play and potentially be top 10 for the same award.
Okay.
For next season.
So he said he did not put an end date on this prediction, which I don't know, maybe that's a technicality that we should
I'll hold it against against you like
No,
3 months down the road. Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Because the kid should play next year, and
Yeah.
it'll come off at that point. I think that's a fine prediction.
I forgot to delete this one from last week. So, Declan, you don't get credit again for the WWE prediction. That's just a user error on my part. But you do get docked for saying the Twins will trade a player on their active roster by month's end, unless that happens today.
Kind of premature to take it off today, but guess we could have waited. Yeah.
You have sources? Are you talking to Jeff Passan?
I was texting
Is Barrios on the way out today?
Yeah, I was just texting with Doogie and Passan. I'm trying to work these sources. I'm not trying to like make up things. I'm not being semantics. No, I'm trying to make sure that the grades are correct.
I don't know why you guys are so bitter about. You guys fight with Twins bloggers all the time.
What are you talking about?
You guys need to just relax sometimes.
Why would you trade guys? This team's still in contention. Let's see what happens in tonight's game against the White Sox.
And then you said Bruce Boudreau will be the next head coach of the Seattle Kraken. He should have been.
Should have been. The hell, Dave
I like how you guys are. Should.
And so as of today, Judd Zulgad leading with a 377 average and now retakes the home run lead with 4. I'm at 350 with 2 home runs. Declan, 338 with 2 home runs. Listeners at 312 with 3 home runs. So everyone's having a pretty good year here by write that down standards, and it's still anybody's race going into the last 6 months. All-time stats, we've been keeping track of these for about 3 years. Judd, 163 hits, 12 home runs. I'm at 133 hits, 12 home runs. Listeners, 112 hits, 12 home runs. And Declan with 55 hits and 4 home runs. All right, let's get our guy in here. Brian is our guest.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Listener predictor here. Brian, what is your strategy today, sir? Are you ready to swing for the fences? Are you squaring around to bunt? Are you just going to charge the mound? Like, what are you doing here today?
Well, I'll be pushing Judd in his wheelchair up to the mound.
I think you and Judd together should just band together and go charge the mound.
There's some gray here between the two of us. Him more up top on the head, me right here.
That's great. Yeah,
that's some good.
Maybe we can Photoshop you guys together here. Maybe somebody on our YouTube comment section can.
I'm sure, challenge them to do that.
So we'll start with Brian, and then we're going to go Judd, Declan, and then back to me. We'll make 3 trips around the room. Brian, you are the leadoff man. Fire away.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right. So last season, the Whitecaps lost the Istanbul Cup. The Minnesota Whitecaps women's hockey team, that is. Mm-hmm. So next year, they will win the Isabel Cup.
So that would be so next season, which starts what? Does that start in 2021 or 2022?
21, I believe. But
okay, right on.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
That's our first Whitecaps prediction. I like it. Judd?
Max Kepler will be traded by the Twins before next season. Max Kepler will not be back with the Twins, so when spring training opens, he will be on another roster. He will be traded. I don't see any room for Max Kepler.
Hey, real quick, because I like where you're going here. I mean, they're going to have to – he's got like 2 years left on his deal, and it's like $8 million a year or something. He's been pretty bad in almost every season except one. Yep. And so at some point, he just kind of is what he is. They might just have to just sell low on him. But if I'm going into next year, like, who are you creating room? Who are you building your lineup around for sure next year? Larnach, Kirilloff.
Yep.
I think Jose Miranda has put himself in that mix, even though he's never played a major league game. Luis Arraez is one of your best on-base guys, and so you got to find some playing time for him. Jorge Polanco has been pretty damn good this year for the most part. So,
I mean, Buxton technically is going to be back, and I mean, if he can play, he's a hell of a player.
Yeah. So I think you start there. Okay, who do you and Kepler for sure? Like, he's not a for sure for me. I don't care about his contract. He just hasn't played well.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Oh. All right, Declan.
All right, my first prediction: there will be a Woj or Shams tweet/report mentioning the Wolves having interest in Ben Simmons. Did I steal your exact one?
I did this last week too.
I'm gonna okay. So say yours again.
There will be a Woj or Shams tweet/report mentioning the Wolves having interest in Ben Simmons.
All right, I'm gonna read mine because I write mine down here so I don't forget them. Getting old now, right?
Same.
I'm gonna read. Mine's a little different by one. I added one name, so I'm gonna put this on the board with you. Okay. Woj, Shams, or Chris B. Haynes, who's also an NBA insider, will connect the Wolves to Ben Simmons this summer. So I'm gonna go with that prediction.
On the board now.
I'm just gonna add Chris B. Haynes
Okay.
to the mix.
Okay.
I think Judd's was less about like specific reporters.
I said
and
that there will be a credible
report.
report that the Wolves
Sure.
and Sixers have talked about a Ben Simmons trade, but he will not be dealt to the Wolves. So I
Got
doubled down and said he's not coming here.
Do you think there's a chance? So CJ McCollum is probably going to get traded. I mean, it's possible the Blazers have to blow everything up at this point, but I wonder if there's a chance the Wolves could just be like collateral, like a third or a fourth team that in a mega blockbuster that doesn't get Ben Simmons but gets a guy like McCollum or something. I could see that happening.
Actually, McCollum is a nice player. Yeah.
All right,
Write it down. You like writing things down.
back over to Brian here. Your second prediction, sir.
Well, this is where I'm going to charge the mound. The Wild will play for the Stanley Cup before the Vikings play for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, who do you think right now
It shouldn't happen,
is
but it
more
probably will.
likely? Because it kind of feels like those are the two teams that are the most likely to do it, right? To get to their championship round. I don't know, man. It's tough. I think you got the two right teams there.
I don't know.
It should be the Vikings, but I feel like it's probably the Wild.
Okay.
Write this down.
All right, back to Judd. Your second prediction.
The U.S. Olympic men's basketball team will not win the gold in the summer games.
Really?
The U.S.
Really?
Olympic men's basketball team. Here's why. My gut feeling is a collection of guys who just got done playing, like just got done. So there's a no break here, and know they're going to have to play again, are ripe to cash it in and be like, yeah, okay, we lost.
I don't know. I mean, I
think they'll
hear
get
you.
a medal. I think they'll get a medal, but I'm just saying I'm guessing that they might not get gold. It's a long shot.
There's enough guys I think that would like to get their first gold medal. Like there's a pride factor that kicks in for a lot of these guys. USA basketball, by the way, I just went to DraftKings.com. So the men's odds: USA minus 305, Serbia plus 800. And Spain is plus 800. So they're very much heavy favorites. So we'll see. It would be an upset
I think that's a home run if it's true.
that they don't win the gold.
Yes, if they don't win gold, I think it's a home run because they're. That's a pretty big upset.
It's still a pretty damn good. It's not a dream team, but it's a pretty damn good team.
All right, we'll give Judd a home run on that.
Yes.
We'll give Judd a home run on that.
Write this down.
Okay. That was easy for Judd. Okay, Declan.
Okay. All right, a Bachelorette prediction for you, Phil. Did you watch, by the way? Have you caught up?
I have not caught up yet. Do you want me
For
to take
God's
my
sakes.
headphones off?
No, you're fine. You're fine for this one. You don't have to.
No spoilers.
Because it's up. It's down the line. Greg will make it to hometowns on the Bachelorette.
I love me
Greg
some
will make
Greg,
it to
man.
home. He seems so wholesome.
He's kind of a dork, just
Yeah.
kind of a wholesome guy.
I kind of resonate with him.
You notice about these Bachelorette shows, they never put any chubby guys on the show. Like there's like 30 guys on the show. There's never any man boobs. They're all taking their shirts off, going to the pool, hanging out, talking about the Bachelorette, and you never have a guy that's just like drinking a Coors Light or whatever. Yeah, she's pretty hot. Oh, what do you guys think? Yeah, you want a bratwurst?
And you wonder why that doesn't happen now.
Needs to be more chubby guys.
After you just did that, yeah.
From
it down, you like
Green
writing
Bay,
things
Wisconsin.
down.
Here's Jethro.
Got
Yeah.
a little indigestion this morning.
Here's Jebediah from Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Come
my
on.
gosh.
All right, write this down. Josh Donaldson he'll either get hit by a pitch or have a pitch thrown behind or above his head, behind his body or above his head, by the White Sox at some point this season.
Okay.
I don't know if it happens tonight. They
So-
might wait.
Are
So
you
he'll
going with
get-
charge the? But you're not going with charge the mound.
Don't bait me into a parlay.
He
You're not going
didn't
to charge
say
the
that.
mound?
He didn't say that.
Don't be baiting me into a parlay.
I'm trying to
Write this
clarify.
down.
I see right through you, and you
Yep.
write that down. Gamesmanship.
Okay.
All right, Brian, your final prediction, sir.
Well, our rookie of the year, Kirill, the Thrill, next season will break Gabrick's goal record in a single season.
That's a good. That's a great one.
What is it? It's 43?
42 is the record.
Okay.
You have to get 43.
Hockey Whisperer coming in hot there. See that? Just nailed that.
Oh, the
camera
hockey
right
whisperers everywhere.
there.
He never
I like
goes
it.
away.
I think you're right. I mean, give him 82 games and give him another year here to just sort of figure out the league. And to specify, and he'll score those goals in the NHL, not the KHL, right? That's
Correct.
the fear. Okay, just want to make sure. Cool. Brian, nice work here with your predictions. Is there anyone, now that you've got this life-changing platform here on Mackey and Judd, anyone in your life you'd like to thank that brought you to this point today?
Actually, I'd like to thank Joey from Brave the Wild. He gave a shout out to Judd's hockey show, and I tuned in and listened, and eventually stumbled across this show. So without him, I wouldn't be here.
We appreciate
Awesome,
him
man.
too. Then
Right on. Thanks for the shout out. And Brian, we'll get you on again sometime. Make some more predictions. Thanks for coming on, dude.
All right, thank you.
see you, Brian.
All right, look at the power of the internet. You know, you just
Wow.
when you put
There
out
are
the
wild-
positive vibes, the good vibes that we put out every single day here, it all comes back around. You know,
Well, I mean, it helps to have a guy like me on the show who's so positive about life.
it really does.
Yeah.
Like every day, I wake up and think to myself, "What is my fellow man going to do make me feel good today?" And every day, something happens.
Write that down.
Judd has all kinds of those like signs that you find at Bed Bath and Beyond: live, laugh, love. Just,
Oh, yeah.
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
You can't
God.
see them on camera now because they're sort of on the fourth wall side, but there are a lot of positive affirmation quotes.
I go outside my house every day. "Hi, neighbor. How are you today? Let's chat."
You actually do probably call him neighbor or her.
Yeah.
Someone
Hello.
you probably lived next to for 20 years that you still call
Hello.
neighbor.
No,
but
I
you
just
don't
say,
know
"Hey,
their name.
yeah." Dex just
Hello.
nailed it.
Hello.
Yep. Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Hello. Yep.
Phil knows the exact way he says that too, that I say it too.
I'm like a politician.
Yeah. Hello.
My fellow neighbors, ask not what you can do for yourself, but what you can
Oh
do
my
for me.
God.
How about cutting my grass?
Write it down. You like
How about one of you
writing
cuts
things
my
down?
grass? I'll talk sports with you for 5 minutes.
Oh,
if
is that a
cut-
euphemism? I don't know.
if you cut
Come
no,
over and find out, neighbor.
God.
no, that's
Why?
gross. Yeah, Declan. Just for the record, I did not say that.
I know
right.
you didn't. Thank God.
All right.
I think it's
Okay.
Judd's turn here.
My final prediction: Kirill Kaprizov will be the highest paid player on the Wild next season on a contract that is either for 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Does that make sense, Dex?
Yes.
Then that would be a big win for the Wild, I would think, if they got him to sign a 4 or 5 year contract.
If they get him to 5 years, they deserve a medal, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Okay.
he wants to get back to free agency sometime
early.
during his prime, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right. Declan, your final prediction here.
Write it down.
right.
You like writing things down.
I have a wrestling prediction here.
Love it.
Becky Lynch will make her return to WWE between now and SummerSlam.
Okay.
So Becky Lynch will make her return to WWE between now and SummerSlam. Apparently, she was at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, and actually, yesterday she actually got her and Seth Rollins got married. They actually had their wedding.
Good for them.
It was
Very
yesterday on a
happy.
Tuesday, and good
Very
for him
happy
is
for
right.
them.
Yeah, very happy.
Very happy for them. It's awesome.
Write this down.
Yep.
The man.
All right, write this down. Twins get swept by the White Sox.
You're going
Twins-
for it again. You're just
Twins
you're
get
gonna-
swept by the White Sox. I just be done with it. Just start trading everybody. Let's start looking at 2022 here, okay? Let's start. When you know that your campaign is over and you're not going to win the primary, like just start. What's the next thing? Let's get to the next thing here. Let's figure out how to make this team great again in 2022. Twins get swept by the White Sox.
Write this down.
So there they are. Write that down. Predictions and your accountability session. The only show in America that actually keeps track of predictions and puts our careers on the line every single week. Boys, do you have that Blazers PR clip, Declan?
Yes, I do.
I think we should let's do just a couple minutes on this real quick here.
Okay.
The three of us have all been around sports and sports media and PR enough, and we've seen similar things like this, even with Minnesota teams, where you just get like an overzealous sports PR person. So Chauncey Billups, and I admittedly have not read up on all the details of this, but he was involved in an alleged sexual assault situation back in 1997 as a young, I think he was just coming into the NBA. And that case was settled out of court, right? I think there was a civil suit and it was settled, but it's been a question that's been lingering over his head for like 20, 25 years. And he knew he was going to face some sort of questioning here. So the clip you're going to hear and see, he was asked about it once initially at his introductory Blazers press conference, and then a reporter from The Athletic wants to jump in and ask a follow-up.
Right.
And here's the clip.
Hi, Jason Quick with The Athletic. You said the 1997 incident shaped you in unbelievable ways. Can you maybe elaborate on that and how it helped shape you?
Jason, we appreciate your question. We've addressed this. It's been asked and answered, so happy to move on to the next question here, Aaron.
So I know for the visual, the visual audience probably saw this, but the audio audience. So Chauncey leans in, not annoyed or anything. Like he knows that these questions are coming. He's a affable guy who's he's a career in media, right? Like everyone who's interacted with him, at least that I've heard, likes Chauncey Billups. Leans into the microphone because he's ready and comfortable to give an answer to the question. Like he's going to give, I would assume, an honest, thoughtful answer to a tough question. And the other thing you'll see, let's play this one more time here. Neil Oshie, who was the general manager for the Blazers going back like 8 or 9 years, and he like conned his way into a Clippers front office job like 10, 15 years ago, and with one of the greatest scoring guards of all time, Dame Lillard, like can't build a roster around him. So you'll notice as soon as this reporter starts asking the follow-up question, Neil Oshie reaches for his water bottle, takes a quick sip, and stares at the PR person. It was like his sign. It's almost like they talked beforehand and said, "Hey, if I go for my water bottle and look at you, kill the questioning thread." Let's play it one more time.
Hi, Jason Quick with The Athletic. You said the 1997 incident shaped you in unbelievable ways. Can you maybe elaborate on that and how it helped shape you?
Jason, we appreciate your question. We've addressed this. It's been asked and answered, so happy to move on to the next question here, Aaron.
So sports dad Judd Zulgad, you've been covering sports a long time. You've been around press conferences a million times. What would if you could be a consultant in this situation for the Portland Trailblazers, and you could rewind going back to before this press conference took place, what would your advice to them have been?
Answer every question. I mean, answer them, and that doesn't mean that you have to give a play-by-play and details that are probably sealed. So, like, there are some things that you could very possibly say, we can't talk about that part of it, but doing what the Blazers did reeks of you're hiding something, or you're embarrassed, or you're not prepared. Like, there's no good way to spin what they did. And I feel for the PR person here, because they clearly are just being told, hey, cut off the question. But that's just embarrassing. And it's embarrassing. If I'm Billups, I say, if I'm going to take this job, we're going to have to go through this. It's going to be a day or two, and then it's done. But now it leaves unanswered questions that are going to be dug on. I saw a quote from Oshie also that said something about he gave a quote, "You're just going to have to trust us on this."
Okay, bud. Like,
since when does the media trust a team, and why would you? So that's a ridiculous statement. And by the way, that causes more people to dig. So yeah, I would. The worst press conference I think I've ever seen in this town, and I've seen a few awful ones, but I think the worst one was the Adrian Peterson one, where he had beaten his kid with a switch, and the Vikings then are like, well, that's a family thing, and we're gonna and they quickly had to backtrack, and they did a pretty good job the second time around. But yeah, I mean, this to me is not that hard. You have to come off as transparent. Even if you're not being transparent, come off as transparent. And when you say you're going to have to trust us, that's like code for dig more on us.
Yes. like this is what's mind-boggling to me. And I don't know if you just have, I don't know if it's a PR staff issue with Portland, or if they were just like overridden by idiot basketball ops executives or what it was here. But if you had two choices going into this press conference, number one being let everyone ask the questions they're going to ask. Chauncey can answer thoughtfully and charmingly however he wants to, and then it can be a one-day story, and then it can be done. Or you can elbow your way in as a PR person, cut the thread off, and now it lives not only another day, but it lives even more prominently for another day because of the way you did it. I actually think if I'm Chauncey in that spot, and I get that he's new to the organization, and it's like I'm sure he's been given advice and guidance per what the Blazers want him to do. But if I'm Chauncey in that spot, I put my hand up and I say, no, it's okay. Here's my answer to that question. Like, It's okay. I'm comfortable answering this question.
Right.
I think that like if you could go back, like Chauncey should have stepped in and said, no. Hey, thanks guys. Like I'm happy to answer these questions. I'm here.
He looked uncomfortable enough where I think he had been told what the strategy was going to be. So it almost would have had to be cut off pre-press conference, which it should have been. But I mean, this is a franchise that 25 years back was known as the Jailblazers, and like they worked their ass off to change that and to change their quote unquote culture, and to like now go back to this. And look, there are some executives, and they're dangerous. David Kahn's one of them, who just think that they're smart, and they're not. And they don't listen to people who know what the culture of the franchise is and what the values are supposed to be, and they don't last long. And yeah, this is and Portland also did something really weird. They so Becky Hammon was a leading candidate to get that job.
Yeah.
And behind the scenes, and it clearly came from them, somebody leaked out, well, there's some stuff you guys don't know about her and her preparation to take a job like this. And it was all like, it was unnecessarily damning. So I think starting with this Oshie character, this is just a bleep show.
It is. Yeah. Neil Oshie, I mean, if you get a chance, go and like look at his background. He was like an actor on soap operas back in the 90s, and then
are you serious?
And then like somehow got into the
God.
he got into the Clippers organization when it was a train wreck under Donald Sterling in like the early 2000s, and worked his way up. When Mike Dunleavy got let go, he worked his way up to assistant GM and then GM for a couple of years with the Clippers when they were still bad, and then he parlayed that into, he must just be like a really charming personality to rich people who look to hire in the NBA. But like, yeah, Damian Lillard's amazing. Congratulations. But the roster that they haven't been able to get Damian Lillard help for like 8 years. So.
How do you run a sports franchise in 2021 and not have somebody who has a great understanding of potential crisis management?
Dude, it's unreal. And honestly, like sometimes what happens is these sports PR staffs, like, they're grinding their asses. They're responsible for a million different things. They're not paid very well. And like, yeah, you usually have some sort of like vice president or like some sort of like VP of communications or something, but these are multi-billion-dollar entities that oftentimes have really thin communications and PR staffs, or at least people that are more like entry level that are part of those teams. It's like, I don't know. I'm with you. The NBA should almost have, and maybe they do, some sort of like central crisis communication center that all the teams can tap into. Like, all right, you're hiring someone with a record. He's going to be asked about it. Here's the NBA crisis communications team to come in and help you handle it going into the press conference, right?
Yep.
Here's what you shouldn't do. Don't elbow your way and barrel and stumble in and cut the thread off.
If they had done that right, it would be done. Like, if you do that right, it's still a big deal, but it's done. You've answered every question about it. Instead of now, you look very much like you're trying to hide something about it, true or not. So it's going to cause people who, by the way, are professional diggers to dig.
Yep.
Like you'll get good journalists on this.
Yep. So, lesson learned here. Don't be idiots. Blazers PR team has already violated that. Federated Mutual Insurance Company, not idiots. Very smart people. In fact, when it comes to risk management, they're not going to help you on the PR side as much, but they offer all sorts of products and services tailored to your needs when it comes to risk management and protecting your business. And the industries range across the board. They protect auto services, woodworking, printing, retailing, wholesalers, funeral services even. And you can check out that full list at federatedinsurance.com and find out how they can protect your business. At Federated, it's our business to protect yours. Thanks for hanging out with us today on Mackey and Judd. You can always click subscribe on our Score North YouTube channel and give us a 5-star rating or a positive review on Apple Podcasts, and help spread the word about daily Minnesota sports entertainment with the eye toward championships. That's right. We've got a high bar here on Mackey and Judd. We'll see you guys tomorrow.